The epistolary technique is a literary device in which a story is told through a series of documents such as letters, diary entries, newspaper clippings, or emails in modern contexts, allowing authors to present the narrative from multiple perspectives and offering a more intimate and direct insight into characters' thoughts and feelings. This method provides diverse viewpoints, enhancing the reader's understanding of the plot and characters, while the use of personal documents like letters and diaries creates a sense of authenticity and immediacy. The narrative unfolds through these exchanges, contributing to plot development, and characters' personalities, emotions, and relationships are revealed in depth through their written words. Epistolary is the adjectival form of the noun epistle, derived from the Latinized Greek word for letter. The letter as a written genre predates the novel itself, so when novels began to emerge in Europe in the 16th and 17th centuries, it was common for authors to include letters as part of their narratives. These letters allowed readers to hear from characters in their own voices, adding realism and psychological insight while also advancing the plot. The first English novel composed entirely of letters is generally regarded as love letters between a nobleman and his sister. Published in 1684 and attributed to the versatile playwright and author Aphra Behn. Although Behn's characters are fictional, they were modeled on real-life individuals. By presenting the narrative in the form of letters, Behn enhanced the realism of her account, making readers feel as though they were privy to a secret and private correspondence. The epistolary novel truly flourished with the immensely popular works of Samuel Richardson in the mid-18th century, particularly with Pamela in 1740 and the even more extensive Clarissa in 1748. The full title of Pamela reveals both Richardson's intentions and the novel's structure. Pamela, or Virtue, rewarded in a series of familiar letters from a beautiful young damsel to her parents. The phrase beautiful young damsel was already a cliché in Richardson's time. However, the adjective familiar is crucial here, as it indicated to readers that the ensuing letters would delve into the intimate domestic details of a household. Pamela's letters are familiar not because they were previously known, but because they are written in a free, informal style typical of a daughter writing to her parents. While Pamela consists almost exclusively of letters from Pamela herself, Clarissa includes correspondence not only from her but also from the rakish gentleman Lovelace who pursues her. This provides readers with two main perspectives on the narrative action. In these novels, Richardson perfected a style he termed writing to the moment, where characters document their thoughts and actions as if in real time, thereby enhancing the realism, immediacy, and suspense of the narrative. Richardson's novels were so popular that they sparked a significant trend for the epistolary novel. This popularity is evident in the fact that both the first novel written in Canada, Francis Brooks' The History of Emily Montagu, and the first American novel William Hill Brown's The Power of Sympathy were both epistolary in form. In most 18th century epistolary novels like Richardson's, only one or two characters typically write letters. However, a notable exception is Tobias Smollett's novel The Expedition of Humphrey Clinker, where a wide range of characters who travelled together around Britain write letters. The primary letter writer is the family patriarch Matthew Bramble, a Welsh gentleman. Additionally, we encounter letters from his sister, niece, nephew, and his sister's maidservant. Their perspectives on the same locations and activities often differ significantly. For instance, Bramble is repelled by the waters at the spa town of Bath, whereas his niece Lydia finds them delightful. It's left to the reader to discern the truth by carefully comparing and contrasting their viewpoints. Ultimately, this discordant family finds healing only when they depart England altogether for the more welcoming and genuine Scottish locales that comprise the latter part of their journey. During this phase, their diverse epistolary viewpoints begin to harmonize, and they return to their Welsh estate much happier than when they embarked on their journey. Thus Smollett transforms the epistolary novel from private correspondence among family members into a kind of technology for uniting the entire nation. The epistolary novel went out of fashion by the beginning of the 19th century. However, there's another well-known example that really stretches the boundaries of how this form can function. Bram Stoker's Dracula, published in 1897. The novel incorporates a diverse array of documents and recordings such as letters from characters, newspaper clippings, diary entries, dictation cylinders, and telegraphs, the latter two representing cutting-edge technologies in Stoker's era. This approach is not only polyvocal and multimedia but also highly suspenseful, as the reader, having access to all these materials, often possesses more knowledge than any individual character. Consequently, the reader can anticipate events with greater clarity. Stoker thus employs the epistolary form to heighten Gothic terror and suspense to its fullest extent. Epistolary novels can be classified based on the number of characters whose letters are included, resulting in three types: monophonic, dialogic, and polyphonic. Monophonic epistolary novels such as Letters of a Portuguese Nun and The Sorrows of Young Werther feature letters from only one character. Dialogic epistolary novels, exemplified by Mme Marie-Jean Riccoboni's Letters of Fanny Butler, present letters from two characters. Polyphonic epistolary novels like Bram Stoker's Dracula include letters from three or more characters. In polyphonic epistolary novels such as Clarissa and Dangerous Liaisons, a crucial dramatic device is discrepant awareness, where the heroines and villains have simultaneous but separate correspondences, creating dramatic tension. These novels can also be classified based on the type and quantity of non-letter documents they include, which correlates with the number of voices present. For instance, monophonic epistolary novels are unlikely to heavily feature newspaper clippings, whereas polyphonic ones are considerably more likely to include them. Today there are relatively few novels written entirely in letters, although there are notable exceptions. For instance, C.S. Lewis's The Screwtape Letters, published in 1942, and Helen Fielding's Bridget Jones's Diary from 1996, both use many epistolary tropes to vividly portray their heroines' adventures. More recently, emails and texts have started appearing in novels. For instance, Julie Schumacher's academic satire Dear Committee Members uses letters of recommendation, emails, and other modern forms of communication to humorously depict a dysfunctional English department. Jennifer Egan's Pulitzer Prize-winning A Visit from the Goon Squad includes a chapter that is entirely composed of PowerPoint slides. Finally, it's noteworthy that variations of the epistolary form have also found their way into film. This is seen in movies presented as found footage, where the story is composed of what appears to be footage shot by the characters themselves. The Blair Witch Project is perhaps the most well-known recent example of this technique, as well as the use of home videos within the Paranormal Activity franchise. Many movies employ these tactics temporarily, even when the entire movie is not shot that way. For instance, a quick shot designed to resemble footage from a security camera is often used to enhance the realism, immediacy, and suspense of our viewing experience. Additionally, consider the numerous instances where characters are depicted texting or writing emails in real time, all of which owe a debt, whether consciously or not, to Richardson's technique of writing to the moment.